Brayden Point is out week to week right now, which means he may not be able to play for Team Canada at the Olympics. And Noodles, will start with you. If Point is out, who should be Canada's first choice to replace him?
I'm going to go with Sam Bennett, and that might not be the most sexy choice, even though the guy won the Conn Smythe last year, because you're looking at guys like Connor Bedard who, should be in the mix. But, Bennett, when I'm looking at the replacement for Brayden Point, I think Brayden Point might be a little farther down in your lineup based on the amount of talent you have at the top of your roster for Team Canada. So I want to go with a guy like Bennett who's versatile, can play in all situations. He can play the wing, he can play center ice. And I think that's where Brayden Point, when you're looking for a replacement for somebody like that, he's got a little sandpaper, he's got a little bit of everything, and he's versatile. To me, he would be the perfect fit because he can play any type of game that you want. Even if it gets gritty, I know it's a different style in the Olympics, but this is a guy that would bring it every night for Team Canada.
Jamie, you've made me change my thinking on this. And when you talk about the depth and how much skill that Team Canada has going to the Olympics, it's pretty significant. And I sit here in one breath saying, I can't believe they didn't name Sam Bennett. And now I don't think I can oppose you, even though I was ready to, because I see where you're headed here. And I start to think about other players that could go and play in those situations. Yeah, Mark Scheifele, Connor Bedard as offensive players would be a really good fit. I want Sam Bennett on the team. So I'm going to try to find a way to get him on the team. And with the flexibility and the skill that Team Canada has, there's ways to move players around. Could Brandon Hagel go up and play in a spot that Brayden Point would play? Could Brad Marchand? And you don't have to just lock one player into it. You could switch them around depending on how the game is unfolding, how the game looks, and not just say this is what it's going to look like, period. When I go back to 2010, Brendan Morrow was the bottom of the lineup player. He ended up moving up to the top part of the lineup and becoming a really big player as they were kind of trying to find their way. So I love Scheifele, Bedard, great offensive players, but I can't stump for Sam Bennett being on Team Canada and then not have him on Team Canada if there's an opportunity. So Jamie, I'm with you.
I mean, it really is an embarrassment of riches when you consider Canada can choose from Sam Bennett, who you guys are hot on, but also Connor Bedard and Mark Scheifele, as you mentioned. How about if a defenseman goes down between now and the games? Jamie, do you have one D-man who stands out as the obvious first call, or would it depend on who they're replacing?
A lot is on who you're replacing, but if you're looking at the way the defensive core is shaped, again, it's a polarizing pick depending on where you fall with this guy. But Evan Bouchard is a guy that is the forefront for me because he's a guy certainly 5-on-5 in the power play. We know he can advance the puck. Yes, there's a lot of detractors on him that say he can't play in his own zone. But if you look at his body of work in the playoffs the last couple of years, he's played hard, and he's played very determined defensively. And then offensively, we know he's one of the best on the back end. Yes, they have Cale Makar there, so I get that. But again, depending on the nature of the injury of somebody on the back end, I believe they have guys that could defend, the Parekos, guys like that. Drew Doughty can defend. But Evan Bouchard is a guy I think can play in all situations, and he might get a look if there is a massive injury back there.
Yeah, and I mean, the sexy pick, the young guy, would be Matt Schaefer. But I'm going to go back a little bit further, and I'm going to say in the 2000 Olympics in Torino, Chris Pronger was really good. Jamie, could Chris Pronger return and help Canada try to defend their gold medal from 2014? Because he'd be a pretty good, I think he could still play.
He's in great shape. I follow him on Instagram. Believe me, he's in great shape, but I don't know. He might not be able to touch his toes right now. I think he turned 50 the other day, so who knows?
Who knows? That would be a sight to see. Well, guys, Canada's first game is less than a month away. They will open the Olympics February 12th against Switzerland.